Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua. Now, it's Saturday. It's a day off, so I am excited about that. But for some odd reason, my body decided to wake me up at 3 a.m. Now, I thought weekends were supposed to be for sleeping in, but apparently my body is like, okay, nerd, time to wake up. It's 3 a.m. So I was up and just I went outside, smoked some cigarettes, and had a couple of cups of coffee. And, it is freezing out. What is up with this? My body wants to wake up at 3 a.m. and now it's like 30 degrees out here. All right, I might be exaggerating just a little bit. It's probably in the upper 60s right now, but it has been hotter than the surface of the sun this past week, and now it dips down to Antarctic temperatures. No wonder people are getting sick. But I was supposed to go to the International Festival today. It's happening in downtown Spartanburg, and I still might go, depending on if I can bundle up enough so I don't freeze to death on my moped. Because when I hit those cold patches, like going down hills or near rivers, I literally want to wet myself because it's so cold. But other than that, this morning, since I had so much extra time, I've written a blog post. I did some marketing. I do want to work on my book today. I came up with some outline topics to write about. So I do want to work on that. I'll probably push that back to this evening so I can just sit down maybe before and after dinner and kind of focus on that. But if I do wind up going to the festival, I will definitely take you along for the ride. Hopefully I will develop the courage enough to hop on that moped and get it going. I might even have to kickstart my moped this morning. I notice on mornings when I have to get up to go to work and it's mildly chilly, I have to kickstart it because even the moped doesn't want to get up and get out when it's cold. As you can probably tell, I am not a cold weather type person. I do not like the cold. I prefer warm, tropical weather, preferably near a beach. But, this is what we're working with. So we're going to make the best of it. We're going to have a great day no matter what happens. And I hope you are doing the same. If you're liking these videos, make sure to give them a thumbs up. I love to see those likes. Also, comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. If you have any if you have any topics or anything, I would be happy to discuss them as we are on this journey of personal development and creating a life of awesomeness together. And subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you can get notified each time I create a video. I will talk to you soon. I'm sure I'll have something to talk about in a bit. And have a great morning. Take care. I got all dressed up so that I could go to the International Festival. I put on my warmest sweater so that I could, not freeze to death while I was on my moped. And I get about a mile down the road and I turn around and come back. I'm like, this is not even worth it. There's so much moisture in the air that it's literally sticking to me as I drive. And I'm feeling my sweater right now. I just got back home and it's damp. The last thing I want to do is go and enjoy international cuisine while it's soaking wet. I'll end up with a pneumonia or something because it's literally the Arctic Circle here right now. I know, I'm a little over dramatic, but what are you going to do? Well, it's cloudy out, it's misting out. It might be a good day just to chill at home, relax, work on my book, and work on some other things. Take several naps, and, just enjoy time at home snuggled up on the sofa watching, I don't know, pardon me, I'm sorry. See, I'm already coming down with it. If I'm dead tomorrow, it's because I took a mile drive on my moped in ridiculously cold temperatures. Anyway, so I might just sit on the sofa, binge on some American Horror Story. I've been watching season 6, and I can only watch it when, everyone else is asleep, like at 3 o'clock this morning after I'd gotten done smoking and drinking, drinking coffee. I popped on American Horror Story, and I'm on season 6, which is like Roku House or something like that. And I'm like, ugh, I just want to fast forward it. I'm totally not into this season. I've seen other seasons like Freak Show and The Hotel, and those were really, really good. This one, it's all documentary. No, it's not even documentary style. It's reality TV style, and I am just not about that. So I'll see if I can't hurry up and finish that so I can get on to the next season. And just take it easy for today. My body might even need that. So I'll talk to you in a bit, I'm sure. One of my best friends texted me and asked if she could call me, so I'm gonna give her a call back and see what she's been up to. All right, have a great afternoon. I'll talk to you soon. So I was listening to the Elvis Duran Show. I listen to that morning show every day, usually on the replay channel because I work at 6 a.m. when he comes on. And if you don't know Elvis, he is a morning show host. He's been doing it for, 25 years or so. Based in New York, nationally syndicated over, I think, 73 markets to like 10 million people. Funny, outgoing, very charismatic, witty, older gay guy. But I've listened to him for years and have always loved the show. He always has different guests on, music artists and things like that. But he has brought on, over the years, a couple of different life coaches. One of them is Dan Mason, and he has a podcast that I listen to quite frequently. I'm actually almost all caught up on all the podcasts that he has. And he's great. I get a lot of inspiration and, things to talk about on this video blog from him. So if you haven't checked him out, you might want to check him out. His podcast is called Life Amplified. But on Friday's show, they actually he had a life coach by the name of Mike Bayer. And I had never heard of Mike Bayer before, but then I'd never heard of Dan Mason before listening to him on the Elvis Duran Show. But Mike Bayer came on, and his backstory is he's a former meth addict turned life coach and addiction counselor. And he's actually written a book. And I just re-upped my Audible account and downloaded his book. So it's called Best Self, Be You But Better, or something along those lines. I'm sure you can find it. And I'll let you know what I think about it. I'm sure I'll get a lot of topics from it. Once I listen to it, I'll let you know what I think. But what I found interesting was one kind of thing that he does with some of his clients. And he calls it a sphere assessment. And basically that it's an assessment to see what areas in your life you're really happy with and other areas of your life that, need some work and might cause some stress. And the acronym that he uses is SPHERE, SPHERE. And each one stands for a different part of your life. And you're supposed to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. So I'm going to challenge you to do this, and I'm going to do it actually along with you right here on video. I'm going to assess where I am in each of these categories. So let's get started. This is the SPHERE assessment. So S stands for social. How happy are you with your social life? Going out with friends, having acquaintances, people to talk to and things like that, actually getting out and doing things. So if I had to assess my actual social portion of my life, I would probably rate it pretty low. Maybe a 4, a 3 or 4, that low. And the reason for that is, well, I don't have any friends that I actually go and hang out with. I have my family here, and of course, they're friends, but friends and family, are kind of different in my opinion. So I would have to rate social as being a 3 or 4. Now, I do go out occasionally. I was going to go to that international festival, but because of the weather, I decided not to. I've hopped on my moped and I've gone to different places like Greenville and Asheville and Spartanburg and things like that. But even when I go there, I'm all by myself. I don't really socialize with anyone else. I take in the beauty of everything and things like that, but I don't actually socialize with any other human beings. So I would have to give my the social part of my life probably a pretty low score, 3 or a 4. Now, P is for personal. And this has to do with how you actually talk to yourself. When you look in the mirror, how do you feel about yourself? What kind of verbiage and words do you use to talk to yourself? And I have to say, a couple of months ago, I would have definitely rated myself at a 1 or a 2. I was consistently talking to myself in a negative fashion. Now that I'm a couple of months in sobriety, and I'm making small steps to reach my goals and to create a life of awesomeness, I feel a lot more positive. I feel a lot more confident, and so that is kind of transcending into how I speak to myself. I'm a little more kinder. I look in the mirror and I notice that my face is a little thinner. So I am losing weight, even if the scale doesn't say so. I might throw that scale out the window and just go by how I feel. But I like to have a way to document and measure, my successes. But I am able to look in the mirror and be like, damn, you looking good. So, having that confidence and being able to talk to myself in a more positive affirmation, I would say that I would probably rate my personal aspect of this assessment as, I would say about a 6 or so. There's always room for improvement, and I know 6 isn't great, but every morning I'm not going, gee, you're the best guy in the world. I still have, quite a few moments where I'm like, ugh, God, I feel like a blimp. Ugh, why is my life not moving faster? Ugh, ugh, ugh. Things like that. So there's definitely room for improvement. And, hopefully, as time goes on and more things, get better in my life and I move forward with the things I want to accomplish, then, that self-talk will just keep going up. Or maybe I should focus on that self-talk and then things will go up and get better quicker. Something to think about. H stands for health. How are you taking care of yourself physically and mentally? If I had to rate myself, I would probably say a 5. I'm making a lot better choices in the food that I put in my body. I'm eating a lot more salads than I was a couple of months ago. But, I'll still slam down a bunch of slices of pizza, no problem. The other day after work, I went to Taco Bell and gorged on some Taco Bell. Love me some Mexican pizza from Taco Bell and some Nacho Bel Grande and, anything else I can shove in my pie hole from Taco Bell. Probably the only fast food place that I can actually say that I enjoy eating at. So I'm not working out, but the job that I have is really physically demanding. So I really feel at the end of 12 hours that I put in a pretty good workout. So I am getting some physical activity. I checked the health app on my iPhone and I notice during the week while I'm at work, I'm walking between 16 and 19,000 steps a day. Then I look at the weekend and it says like 1,600. So, maybe I should up my game a little bit on the weekend. But, I'm taking those small steps. So I would probably rate my health at about a 6. Now, that also takes into account mental health. With this positive talk and, having goals and ambitions, I really believe that my mental health is in a much better state than it used to be. So again, I'd probably sum all that up as probably about a 6. So we went through S, P, and H. We're now to E, which is education. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, the courses that you took, although it could. I went through school, I got a bachelor's degree, I got a master's degree. I did all that education, but it's really more about continuing to learn. Are you open to learning new things, new trades, new tricks, new strategies, new ways of thinking, really being able to immerse yourself in learning something new. With this job I have never been in any sort of field like this in my entire life. And so I'm learning more and more each day about, steel fabrication, how things are put together, why they're put together a certain way. I learned how to read drafting sketches and things like that, measuring, sawing, all these manly things that I never really knew how to do. I took shop class in high school, so I had a basic knowledge, but I've never used that. And now I'm using it almost on a daily basis. And one thing I always said about me is if I could, I would be a professional student. I would literally be in school for the rest of my life. I just love learning new things. I was talking to my one of my best friends earlier today, and come to find out her husband teaches mythology to high school students. I'm like, that is awesome. It's something that I have just a primitive knowledge on, but I'm like, wow, that sounds really cool. I would really like to learn more about that. So, just being open to learning new things, even if they seem trite or useless. I love being able to spit out some sort of useless fact in the middle of a conversation. Not only does it make me look highly intelligent, but it kind of gives me a little boost of ego, Hey, here's something you may not have known. So always be open to learning new things. Keep that education going. So when it comes to education, I would definitely rate myself pretty high. I would say around a 9, because I am always open to learning new things. R is for relationships. So that could be with a significant other, that could be with your family, that could be with your friends, that could be, business acquaintances and things like that. So this might be I don't have a significant other right now, and I kind of go back and forth on that. I'd like to have someone to spend time with and things like that, but it's not my primary focus right now. But being here with my sister has really helped me build that relationship with her and her family, which is awesome. I didn't really know her too much growing up. When I left, she was about 12 years old, and there was an 8-year age difference between there. So I unfortunately didn't really pay much attention to her while we were living together back at home. And now, we are able to bond and communicate. We have a similar sense of humor, so we're able to just be sarcastic and make fun of silly things and just laugh. And, we've really built up that relationship, and I'm really thankful for that. And her husband is the biggest sweetheart ever. He's just so warm and inviting, and he's funny as all get out. And little Callie, 2 years old, I've never been around, someone that age and growing up and to see her, learning new things every day. It's remarkable. And when she just comes up and gives me a hug for no reason, it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So, having those relationships is great. The guys I work with, They're great. We bust each other's chops, and that's a cool bro type relationship that I've only had a couple of times in my life. So that's pretty fantastic. So while the relationships aren't perfect, I would definitely say that they're better than they were. So I would probably increase my score to maybe, I would say about a 6 or so. E is for employment. How happy are you with the employment in your life? If you're creating something that has been your lifelong passion, you're probably really high up there on the scale. If you're just working the grind to make a paycheck and not seeing any progress, then you might be a little lower. When I was serving tables, I was probably at the very bottom because I was not making any sort of money, definitely not what I feel I'm worth. And I was being treated like a piece of crap, by customers, by management. I mean, they didn't care whether I came or went. It didn't matter to them. It was terrible. I really felt bad about myself. And now, this job is, while it's not my ultimate goal, I'm definitely a lot happier there. I'm learning new things. I'm meeting new people. I feel good about the work that I do. And I see it as a means to further extend the ambitions that I have and the goals that I have, and to reach them a little bit quicker than I ever would have been able to do as a server. So I would probably give employment maybe a 5. As with serving, it would have been around a 1 or a 2. I've always got plates spinning to where my employment, I want to continue to move forward and, ultimately work for myself, because I don't think anything I do I would be happy with having to answer to, a boss. I know I'll always have clients and things like that, but that's a little different in my opinion. So yeah, maybe about a 5 on the employment scale. Now, I did miss one letter. I know I spelled out sphere, but there's actually an S on it, so it's spheres. And I always have trouble saying that. I think my tongue is a little big for my mouth. But spheres, so S-P-H-E-R-E-S. And the last S stands for spirituality. And that doesn't have anything to do with religion. Whatever religion you are is cool. Having that openness to whatever higher power you have, and allowing guidance and feeling fulfilled from that. And I have to say that's been something for the majority of my life that I've always felt has lacked. I've always believed that there is something much greater than myself. And, I've had what can only be described as miracles in my life happen just looking at the beauty of nature around me, it kind of reminds me every day that there's something out there that can create all this. But all that aside, having that spiritual fulfillment and, just being able to go to church with Katie and her family has given me the opportunity to seek out something a little more concrete than, just kind of skipping through life and being like, oh, something greater is out there. This has actually given me a way to think about what could it be? What does it have in store for me? What am I meant to be doing through that spiritual involvement? And so, that hole is starting to fill up, slowly but surely. And that's a great feeling. So I would love to hear how you rated yourself on this assessment. Please comment down below. That's S-P-H-E-R-E-S E-R-E-S. Wow, that's a lot of letters. But comment down below. Let me know how you rated yourself and how you might want to improve in the categories that you rated yourself lower on. I hope you got value out of this. If you did, make sure to give me a big old thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you can get notified each time I create a video. And I will talk to you soon. My friends, I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. Take care. Bye.